Papa Squat, coming at you. So today's video is going to be awesome. I don't even know if the song's going to be good, but I'm going to assume it's at least decent because it was on the list from Rate Your Music and it was fairly highly rated. What's awesome about this, really cool about this song, is it's from a guy born Leonard Hilton McGurr in 1955, but from very probably late 70s, early 80s, he went by the name Futura or Futura 2000. For this album, he was Futura 2000, or for this record that we're going to listen to. But now he's just known as Futura. You may have seen him before. He's a graffiti artist. And an incredibly well-known graffiti artist with tons of shows that he's been part of, solo shows, exhibitions, things like that, all over the place. He's been in a ton of different publications, either contributing or having his artwork appear in them. And this is a guy who really is just a guy, and he got super interested in graffiti art, and he started doing it, and he has gotten famous as an artist because he's so good and has developed these skills over the years to become to be able to do things with a paint can that you wouldn't believe. He actually has a masterclass, which is one of those subscription services. You may have seen ads for it online, but he has a masterclass that he does about painting, but just creativity in general, and I'm sure it's fascinating. In fact, I have a subscription to that for this year as a gift, and I may go watch his. So, Futura, awesome stuff. I'm looking forward to this song, and what's especially cool is Futura, just before this came out, worked with The Clash to do the spoken word section on, it's down here, Overpowered by Funk off of Combat Rock from The Clash. Certainly one of their breakthrough albums. And then The Clash appears on this track that we're going to listen to, and the track is called The Escapades of Futura. So I listened to a little bit of it, and he kind of talks about getting interested in graffiti art and doing it, and then I stopped. But we're going to listen to that. First thing I wanted to do, though, is give you guys a little peek behind the curtain here on the channel and what's going on with it. So you can see here, I know it's small, and you can see a couple of spikes that are significant, and we can look into those. Let's see here. Yeah, so this is kind of cool. It shows me how many views the channel has had in total, which is 31,090. Number of hours watched. This is just a crazy number. 1,428.1 hours watched. Now that's just on my channel with all the videos I've put out in not even a year. 221 subscribers. 526,175 impressions. So it's like people have seen my little image thing pop up on their screen is all that means. I don't care. My impression and click-through rate is ridiculously high for this sort of thing, like running anywhere from, well, I see one here is 7.2%, which is ridiculous. And that's because I only have 200 and some subscribers, and the people who are subscribed are interested in watching, and so they click through to watch. There you go. What also is interesting is it shows us what the top 50 recordings are that I've done. Number 6, because it was one of the first ones I did, is a Reaction to the Message by Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5, and that has just over 1,000 views. Number 5 is Hip Hop Bebop Don't Stop by Man Parrish, which I'm totally on board with that being in the top 5. That's awesome. Reaction to Rockbox by Run DMC. Reaction to Freaky Friday by Lil Dicky and Chris Brown, which is also fantastic. Reaction to the Humpty Dance by Digital Underground, and I'm sure the reason why that's so high is, 1, awesome song, but 2, I put it out right about, well, the day of Shock G's death. Still sucks. And the number 1 song so far has been Run the Jewels and DJ Shadow, more appropriately DJ Shadow featuring Run the Jewels with Nobody Speak. And that's had just 1,561 views. So I haven't really looked at this information before, and I just kind of stumbled upon it, and I thought I'd share a little bit of it, just because it's interesting. Like the fact that 31,000 people have looked at my videos, at least enough for YouTube to register that it's been played, because it doesn't start automatically. I don't think it's counted automatically if you hit play if you then immediately leave. So super interesting stuff. This was really neat to see, and there's other sorts of information that I can get out of here. I don't really care. It was more just to give you guys a look in case anybody was curious about it. So let's jump back to Futura 2000, now known as Futura. If you can see this picture of him, he looks like a totally normal guy. I mean, grew up on the streets of New York and became a graffiti artist. But let's give a listen to this song here. Again, this is called "The Escapades of Futura 2000," and it is by Futura 2000, featuring The Clash, from 1982. Just about 7 minutes. Like that right off the bat, the bass line.
Futura is my name, and I say graffiti. It's where I got my fame, but it's not my fame that I'm here to claim. I want to tell the real story about my game.
So I can only assume that the art they're going to show us on this video is all his stuff, and I assume fairly early stuff. And you can also hear from what he's saying, Futura is my name, and you know, he's rapping, but this is what he's really about, and he's going to talk about doing graffiti and using spray paint to create art. The recording's not fantastic.
The idea is to let you know that graffiti is rocking and it's on the go. And there's a lot more to it if you check into it, but the problem is you're probably looking right through it. It started for me back in '72. I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I saw names everywhere, style, color, and flair. I knew I had to join it. I knew my answer was there. There was Tacky being tacky with his dry mark pen. He was writing his name way back then. Frank 207, SJK, Cover 144, and the UGA. Stay high. Graffiti is the thing that's kind of hard to explain. It's not just running around spray painting your name. It starts as a game, can't stay the same. Dedication makes you put it in a different frame. Show 136. And there were writers in the past who I bet if you ask would say graffiti cannot last. But they crossed that rail and they blazed that trail. It's because of them that I won't fail. You know, they jumped that fence, they crossed that track, and it's because of them that I can never be the whack. And you know that.
And you know that.
There's a side that's good and there's a side that's bad, and on the inside, graffiti's always had that individual desire, which I guess I most admire, that needs a bomb to set things on fire. I painted the train and I called it break. I guess until then I wasn't really awake. I realized then what I could do. I just check out the scene from a whole new view. It wasn't hard to see, it didn't take much time. I started out with a deaf design. There were no letters there, but I didn't care. When the car rolled by, it made people stare. But are they more aware? Crash, stays, knock and I leave. The boys are batting it down with me. Graffiti, what's it gonna be? Except for Abdul, Dundee, and Lee. And Koch, unlock the house. Check it out. The idea is to let you know that graffiti is rocking and it's on the go. And there's a lot more to it if you check into it, but the problem is people are looking right through it. We got Wild Style Star Wars coming on strong, Charlie A. Henry, and the list goes on. Biggest toy, a small young boy, the inside king, and full car joy. A show in France, a new romance, pay another train and take another chance. It's all about this when you live in the city. People out there won't have no pity. You got many young minds with a lot to say. All this paint and the subway's gray. And soon their efforts, they're buffed away by the monster machines of the MTA. Yo, man, you ever see that buffing machine?
So, not the greatest rapper ever, right? I'm sure it's something that he was exposed to daily and wanted to do it, and I don't blame him. And he had something to say, right? Like, he's talking about what he's passionate about. He got into graffiti, like he says in the song, 1972. I'm basing this completely off of what he's talking about. I love the fact that he's naming some of these old graffiti artists that inspired him or that were coming up when he was coming up. I love graffiti. I traveled a couple of years ago to Europe, and I have like a ton of pictures of just graffiti that was all over the place, and it's so cool. And I think this song is really interesting for that reason alone. The music is good. It's very simple. The bass is good. I mean, it's a really good bass line. There needs to be more to the music here, or he needs to be a better rapper to really sell this. But I love that this exists, and I love that he did it.
Writing on the wall, no talent at all. A simple scrawl, a bathroom stall, a project hall. Hey, graffiti's everywhere, y'all. I was maxing hard with a friend of mine. He's down by law in a rocky mile. We call him Freddie B. You know he rocks the mic to the highest degree. Freddie, I threw you down, you see, because we both rock shot and making history. I do the funky beat, I do the funky beat. I'm free. The idea is to let you know that graffiti is rocking and it's on the go. And there's a lot more to it if you check into it, but the problem is you probably just can't do it. Let's get to it. Keith Haring, rock the house, and the downtown scene rock shock the house now. Jean-Michel, you're doing swell. You know you got real clientele. Fly low, rock the house, and let that low, shock the house. Rust-Oleum, rock the house.
Oh, I didn't notice down here in the lower right is the Rocketeer. That's cool.
Shock the show. Futura. Shocking around until the break of day. Check me out, and you don't stop. That's what I be about. Alright, got my man Mick. Cutting the mix. No tricks. To the clash, you're rocking the house. Say thanks a lot. Shock the house. Futura. Hey. Futura is where I spray. New York City, rock the house. Check it out, PT, rock shock the house now. Uni-wide, city-wide. One gallery, and you don't stop. To the beat. Do a dive, best style, rock on. The idea is to let you know that graffiti is rocking and it's on the go. And there's a lot more to it if you check into it, but the problem is you probably just can't do it. You don't stop. The body rock. That Bob is in the house. Check it out. You don't stop. You don't stop. That body rock. You don't stop. You don't stop. You don't stop. That body rock. Segregation word, you lost shop in the house. Be serious, mysterious. Hey, you know the man's delirious. Get down, stop messing around, man. Then your time. You know that, this is not the whack. It's the clash, you're rocking the house. Say thanks a lot, shock the house. Futura, hey. And you know that, Futura is what I say.
I like that. Peanut. Yeah, I love that is a song that exists. My cat wants to go out and it's raining. Love it. I just love it. It's so cool. I never knew that this existed. I'd heard of Futura. Peanut. Stop it. I've heard of Futura, and I think his stuff is amazing. I wish whoever put this video together had done more and different pieces of his art on this, but I mean, it gives you some idea of what he's done. I recommend looking up some of the things he's done. Frickin' cat! Peanut! Stop it! Sorry, everybody. Yeah, so cool. So cool. I don't think this is going to go on my favorites list, even though it's one of my favorites because of what it is. Not so much for the music. The music was good. It had a nice beat to it. It was good. It flowed along. There was some cool differentiation in the musical phrases. Cat! That only really came into play late in the song, and I wish they would have kind of interspersed that a little bit throughout to give it a little more variation and make it sound different and feel different. Peanut! To make it just keep your interest more. You know what I mean? To vary it up so that you're like, oh, what? Something changed. Something's different. So, instead, it was a little repetitive when it came to the lyrics, and that's fine. I think this is just a super interesting song, especially to have the Clash on it. This is crazy. Crazy. I never knew that they collaborated with him, or that he had collaborated with them. So, great stuff. Absolutely fantastic. I got some more recommendations from people that I will get to because they're more modern and I wanted to vary. Peanut, just stop. Cat, hey. He just doesn't. Cats are just dumb, right? Like, they're like kids. They're like, I want to do this thing and I don't understand and you're mean. See, I want to throw something at him, but I don't do that. Stop it. He meowed. Cool stuff. Sorry about all the cat distraction crap. So I will just sign off and say thank you. I will get to your recommendations. Papa Squat. Checking out. Please do like, subscribe, and share. I appreciate it very much. And I hope you liked the informational bits about the channel itself. Let me know what you thought of it. And if I don't hear from anybody, I won't do anything like that again. I just thought it was kind of interesting. Thanks again. Have a good night.